personal.
What's one?
Well, this one only had the 40-minute time, which doesn't make any sense because we haven't, so it kicked me out. So that meeting is done.
You think you can do an army? Zoom stuff.
Alright, can you hear me? Alright, cool. Yep, we're good to go. Just you tonight on answer. I just start throwing stuff up on me. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get things started. The mayor is going to be about 10 minutes late, I think he said. First on the docket is the call center. So Jason, if you want to go ahead and start with the overview.
Yep, thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Mm-hmm.
The Customer Assistance Center is the department that's up right now. On the screen you see, you guys got the handouts. You got the summary for the department, going over summary. The total expenditures for fiscal year 18 were $454,690. For fiscal year 19, they were $393,000. The current projected budget is $474,640. And then the mayor proposed budget for fiscal year 21 is $533,900. And going down the budget, as you can see, most of the line items are related to personal services, which is wages and benefits. You do see a little bit of an increase in the personal services line item, and what that is related to is a allocation of a body, which is one of the clerks, the floating clerk, and we'll go through the personal services in a minute, but that's the reason for that increase, where that clerk was in another budget in the current year that we're in, so it's just a reallocation.
Okay, so it's not an additional?
Nope, it's a reallocation. Brenda, if you want to come up, if you have any comments, I got the staffing on the screen as well too. The reallocation position is the appointed clerk floater position. So like I said, that was a reallocation throughout the year, so that's why you see a little bit of difference in the proposed budget.
But it'll still work under the same circumstances. When they're in your office, they're paid through your department, but if they go through somebody else's, that department covers them for that time.
Right.
Okay.
Yep, when that person is...
They pay their wages, and I take the benefits.
Okay.
Also, Tiara was moved back into my shop,
Okay.
and so that we had to pick up her wages and benefits as well.
Okay. So are you at full capacity right now?
I'm not.
Okay. How many are you missing?
I'm missing 2. I'm asking for 2.
Full times or part time?
1 part-time, well, 2 part-times actually.
So here, according to the position paper that, Jason, that you sent, it's got vacant, full-time, and the customer service agent part-time, but there's no money there. Is that something that she's asking for this time around?
Yes, if I may, that was a removal from the mayor's proposed budget. The 1 part-time position was removed. That's why it's highlighted. It was removed from the mayor's proposed budget.
Okay, thank you.
What's the effect on it, with your personnel as of right now? The effects on you operating properly? Is it as far as the needs of those personnel that you requested?
Well, we are operating properly now because of the pandemic. But when we go back and we're at full capacity, we will be short.
You'll be short too?
We will be short too, yes.
And the effect on that, does it cost us overtime or anything like that?
It may cost us overtime. We don't typically work very much overtime, but it's just difficult for them to get everything done that they need to be done. This year, I'm sure we will be picking up some overtime.
Okay. So the service that we should be supplying our citizens,
Yes.
in just my opinion, not yours, but mine, is that it makes it harder for our personnel to actually perform and really get things done and not be overloaded, so that we get this done for the city.
Correct.
So those are needed personnel in order for us to give the public what they basically deserve.
Yes, that's correct.
One of these positions is budgeted, though, correct? The full-time is budgeted and could be...
Well, if you look at the personnel sheets, there is budgeted, let's see here,
It's 9 and 2, which is the current budget. So the budget for 2021 is the same as 1920, correct? 9 full-timers and 2 part-timers. That's what you were budgeted last year, and that's what you still have. You were asking for at least 1 in addition to what you had the last fiscal year.
Correct.
Okay.
Which was a part-time.
Which was this part-time position that's highlighted in yellow. Now, are all 11 positions filled, or you have an opening that needs,
An opening.
which is already budgeted for? So we'll basically, assuming we hire what we have budgeted for, we'll have the same staff last year that we had, this year that we had last year. What we're not doing is increasing the staff size for this fiscal year.
Has there been
Yeah,
any?
we were adding another person. We were adding
Right.
another person that I didn't have last year.
Okay, but was there any indication that they were not going to fill that open current position? Have they said anything like that, or?
Well, not until I get the budget for it.
Okay. So that position still is budgeted though, so,
again, just looking at the personnel requested sheets, there's the 7 customer service agents, there's the 2 greeters, and also the manager that's in that position. So That's what the request is. And then there was also a request of a part-time position that was not filled by the mayor's proposed budget.
So we need to hire to fill and get to full capacity, which is what was budgeted for 19 and 20, and which is again budgeted for 2021. This budget doesn't allow for an additional part-timer in 2021.
Well, I had one of the part-timers that I had. She was a non-union person. She has since resigned since we did this budget. So that person needs to be filled, plus an add-on.
Right.
Because Monica is the floater, and I don't always have access to her. If she's loaned to somebody else, then that takes one out of what I have to work with.
Right.
And you don't, somebody else makes that decision where they go and all that
Correct.
stuff?
That comes from HR.
So, are you usually aware of that? Like, do they give you?
Yeah, they'll tell me where she's
Okay.
going, you know, but I don't have right of refusal.
Gotcha.
You do have an employee that's split salaried in your department too, that a portion of her salary is from you and a portion is from the police department?
No, all of her salary is from me. The police department handles the benefits, but all of her salary comes
So
from
all
me.
her salary is coming from you,
Correct.
but her benefits are,
Paid by the police
is she
department.
retired?
No, she's not
She's
retired.
not
She's still
medically
working.
retired, she's a worker,
Yeah, she's working. She's the one that's WC,
okay?
on here, vacant WC assignment. That is the person that's from the police department.
So, and I'm going to clarify that as well too. So if that person went back to the police department does have that position budgeted, because they have to, and that would leave a vacancy that could be filled in the call center.
Okay, correct.
So just to be clear on that.
But normally, in most cases, don't the initial people, like say if somebody got hurt or injured at work and they couldn't go do that job and they found another job, normally the first company would cover their wages, and if there was any difference in the wages, the other company would have to, or the insurance company would cover.
Yeah, but that's not what's happening here.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, when I got her, it was my understanding, that's the way it was going to happen, but it's since changed because this is, she's been there 4 years.
So she's been there 4 years, and she's from the police department, which takes care of her benefits.
Correct,
So she's considered a full-time employee,
correct.
gaining ground to retire out of what position, yours or the police department?
That I don't know.
I think that would be an interesting question, because I'd like to know if she's working, if she's going to retire with benefits out of the police department scheduled on their retirement basis, but yet working out of, in my opinion, 1128 position, would that normally be a 1128 position?
It would.
So therefore, would she retire from 1128, which I don't think so?
I don't think so either. I think she's gonna, because she still has the title of PSO.